where
That's
he
what I
said,
was getting at.
I will knock out any one of your guys that has under 10 fights.
Yeah, there's no way I would want to do that.
Is the fight really cancelled? Why would Joe Rogan say this? Hey there, everyone. Gather round, because I've got some seriously hot gossip to share with you. So, here's the deal. There's talk going around that the big showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson might be in some serious trouble. And guess what? There's a rumor floating about that Jake Paul might be saying goodbye to boxing altogether. Yeah, you heard that right. But hold up. Why would Jake bail on the fight of the century, you ask? Why on earth would Jake back out of this fight? Well, Joe Rogan has some thoughts on that. He's got info that could shake things up big time. We're about to uncover all the details. You won't want to miss out on this, I assure you. Before we start, have a look at this.
Well, I want to see how hard he hits, Mike. I really want to see, bro. Let's see all the legends, the myths, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin.
Jake Paul, you know, that YouTube dude who thinks he's the hottest thing since sliced bread, wanted to test his skills against the legendary Mike Tyson. Like, seriously, who does this guy think he is, right? Now, Mike Tyson needs no introduction. He's the heavyweight champion, renowned for his devastating knockout punches and undisputed dominance in the ring. But Jake, with his characteristic confidence bordering on arrogance, boldly proclaimed, I want to see how hard he hits. It was a challenge that raised eyebrows and captured the attention of fight fans everywhere. After all, who in their right mind would dare to challenge the might of Mike Tyson? Anyway, they decided to have a little practice match to see what Jake's got. And let me tell you, it didn't go too well for old Jakey boy. He ended up getting rocked hard by Tyson, like several concussions hard. It was a total reality check for him, dude. Jake Paul strutted into the gym, all cocky and full of himself. He had this swagger, like he owned the place. He'd been talking trash about Mike Tyson for weeks, acting like he was untouchable. I'm telling you guys, Tyson's a joke, Jake boasted, his ego practically bursting at the seams. This is going to be a piece of cake. He's past his prime, man. But little did Jake know, Tyson was silently seething. The disrespect was too much, especially when Jake started dragging Tyson's family into it. Tyson, though, wasn't one to take insults lying down. You think this is nothing, kid? You're in for a rude awakening. But you know what's crazy? Even after getting humbled like that, Jake's still walking around acting all arrogant and cocky. He's out here saying stuff like, "Pfft, that was nothing. Tyson's a joke, man. I'll wipe the floor with him when we actually fight for real." Meanwhile, Mike Tyson's just chilling, being his legendary self, and he's like, yeah, kid got a taste of what's coming, but that was just a warm-up. He's gonna feel the real punch when we step into the ring for the real deal. But here's where things get spicy, bro. Jake, being the disrespectful dude he is, starts talking trash about Tyson and his fam. Like, who does that? Now, Mike's not one to take disrespect lightly, and he's itching for some sweet revenge. Trust me, this fight ain't just about proving who's the better boxer anymore. It's personal now. So, here's the scoop, bro. After getting his bell rung a few too many times in that practice match with Tyson, Jake Paul was feeling pretty rough, you know? Like, those concussions weren't just some minor bumps and bruises. They hit him hard, like, really hard. At first, Jake was all like, nah, I'm good. I can still take on Tyson. But as time went on, he started feeling the effects. Big time. Headaches, dizziness, trouble focusing, the whole 9 yards. And then his doctors were like, dude, you seriously need to chill. Your brain needs time to heal.
The unfortunate target, Paul stated. The amended lawsuit included witness testimonies corroborating Paul's claims of excessive force.
So reluctantly, Jake had to make the tough call and cancel the fight. It wasn't an easy decision, especially with all the hype and trash talk leading up to it. But like, he had to prioritize his health, you know? And risking more damage just wasn't worth it. Of course, Jake being Jake, he's still acting all tough about it, like, oh, I could totally take Tyson if I wanted to, but, you know, I'm just too busy being a boss and stuff. But deep down, you gotta imagine he's feeling pretty bummed about having to back out.
Why? I don't give a fuck if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
And then there's Joe Rogan, the voice of reason in all this madness. He's like, yeah, Jake probably won't be stepping back into the ring anytime soon, if ever. And honestly, it's not that surprising considering how messed up Jake got in that practice match with Tyson. Ric Flair even chimed in, pointing out how Jake was yapping about wanting to take on Mike Tyson, which just had Joe shaking his head in disbelief. But Joe didn't stop there. Oh no, he went on to drop some truth bombs about Jake's future in boxing. He's like, look man, after taking hits like that, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake decided to hang up the gloves for good. He's young, he's got his whole life ahead of him, and there's no shame in walking away to protect your health. And you know what? Joe's got a point. Boxing's no joke, especially when you're going up against a heavyweight legend like Tyson. One wrong move, and it could be game over. Not just for the fight, but for your whole career. So, as much as Jake might want to brush it off and act like it's no big deal, deep down, he's got to be thinking about what Joe said. Maybe this is a sign that it's time to hang up the gloves and find something else to focus on. After all, there's more to life than just being a boxer, right? Joe Rogan still knows about the power of Tyson. He's like, yo, Mike Tyson still hits the gym every single day, dude. And let me tell you, he's still got that devastating power he's famous for. Like, dang, talk about staying in shape, right? But here's where it gets real, bro. Joe's all fired up, saying, I don't give a shit if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson we're talking about here. And you can just feel the intensity in his words, man. It's like he's trying to drill it into Jake Paul's head that Tyson's not to be messed with, no matter how old he is. And get this, Tyson's not just hitting the bag or doing some light sparring. Nah, he's training with Rafael Cordero, who's like a legend in the MMA world. This dude runs King's Mixed Martial Arts, and let me tell you, he's no joke. When you see him holding the mitts for Tyson, and Tyson smashing those mitts like there's no tomorrow, it's like, whoa, this guy can still mess you up big time. So yeah, Joe Rogan's basically dropping truth bombs left and right, trying to make Jake Paul realize that going up against Tyson is no walk in the park. It's like he's trying to knock some sense into Jake's head before it's too late. And honestly, with Tyson still training like a beast and packing that legendary punch, it's hard to argue with Joe's logic, you know?
When you come in here, I'm pushing your
Hey, what happens if I get injured?
You ain't getting injured.
Bro, you don't know that.
So, after that practice match where Tyson straight up schooled Jake Paul and left him with a few too many concussions, you know, Tyson's feeling pretty smug about it. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? He's the champ, and he just showed this cocky kid what's what. You can just imagine Tyson, all cool and collected, saying something like, yeah, I beat him pretty bad. Kid didn't know what hit him. And you know he's got that trademark grin on his face, like he's got the whole world in the palm of his hand. But then there's Jake Paul, never one to back down from a challenge. Even after getting rocked by Tyson, he's out here talking about how he's going to come back stronger than ever. It's like he's got a fire burning inside him, pushing him to prove all the haters wrong. So Jake's all like, yeah, I took some hits, but that's just fueling my fire, man. I'm going to hit the gym harder than ever, work on my game, and come back ready to take on anyone who dares to step in the ring with me. And you can just feel the determination in his words, like he's ready to prove himself all over again. But let's be real for a second. Jake's got a lot to prove if he wants to make a comeback after getting humbled by Tyson. Like, he's got to step up his game big time if he wants to hang with the big dogs in the boxing world. It's going to take more than just talk to make it happen. And then there's Tyson, watching from the sidelines, probably thinking, kid's got guts, I'll give him that. But you know he's not going to go easy on Jake if they ever step into the ring for real. Tyson's still got that killer instinct, that hunger to dominate, and you better believe he's not going to hold back. So yeah, it's like a battle of wills between these two, each determined to come out on top. Will Jake Paul make good on his promise to come back stronger than ever? Will Tyson continue to reign supreme in the ring? Only time will tell, my dude. But one thing's for sure, this rivalry is far from over, and we're all going to be glued to our screens, waiting to see what happens next. And before you bounce, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on the latest updates. We've got tons more epic content coming your way, and we want you to be part of the squad. So go ahead, show us some love, and let's keep this party going.